Hey, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Sunday today. Today, I wanted to talk about the issue of willpower within the carnivore diet, and we're going to relate that to Christianity and Jesus's simple teachings. So, as you're going down this journey, a lot of people will comment on willpower and how, boy, it takes a lot of willpower to you must have really strong willpower, or as you're going down the journey too, you also focus on yourself and just say, I need to be strong and I need to say no to these things. And you do have to do that. However, I invite you to look at a different perspective, because I'm not sure if you've heard the really famous saying, but that not making a decision is also a decision. In the same way, when you say no to things, you're actually saying yes to something else. So consider it this perspective. So when you go along this carnivore journey and you're saying no to sugar, you're saying no to all the fast food out there, you're saying no to the processed food, every day you're saying no, no, no. What you're actually doing is you're saying yes to the version of yourself that you want to be. So you're saying yes to healthier skin. You're saying yes to a better weight. You're saying yes to mental clarity. You're saying yes to more energy. And guess what? When you're doing that, when you're saying yes to that, you naturally don't have to worry about faith, because faith comes over you because you're faithful. If you weren't faithful, you'd still be saying yes to eating all the processed foods, and because you wouldn't believe that it's possible. But when you start doing this, you start seeing results immediately. And so you have this faith that if I just keep doing this, if I keep being perfect and having no disruptors come into my system, then my body can naturally heal itself. Whereas if we keep adding disruptors, aka in Christianity that's called sin, to the system, then God's plan can't fully come to bloom for you. You can't have the full connection with Him, because you're in the same way you keep adding these disruptors. Your body can't fully heal, because every time that you have some sugar, every single time, you might think that it's harmless, but it's prolonging your results, because you've put so much damage over your body over the years. And so your body, when it starts eating carnivore, when it starts eating what it's supposed to eat, it starts to feel safe again. It starts to feel safe. And when it feels safe, then it can correctly heal the body, go after the facial fat, go after the fat in your body, go after the inflammation, the years of inflammation that has gone through there. And then it slowly over time changes your mental health, your energy. However, when we keep adding disruptors to the system, then it has to clear out all of those things before it gets back to homeostasis, before it gets back to safety again. So if you eat some sugar, then it has to take weeks or a couple days and whatnot to clear that out. Then you're back to homeostasis. But then if you keep doing that, if you keep eating sugar, then your body you don't have the natural way of healing, and so it can't bloom to its fullest, which is what you want it to be. And so you will see results slower, which is okay for some people. But just me, I'm a big results guy and I'm a bottom line guy. And if you just abstain from those things, you'll see changes very, very quickly, and you'll feel really good. But what always helps me through temptation, I had temptation this past weekend. My dad made some really good fries, and he was trying to tell me, oh, you can just have a little bit and stuff. I can't though, because I want to reach my goals. I want to reach a certain level of body fat percentage. I want to be an influence for people, and I can't do that if I don't have that energy. And so as you keep going through this process, the expectations and the standards raises for you. And so then you'll realize that any bit of that cuts it out. And then your body has to redo that over again. And I find, like, I remember I was 7 months in or something, and my goal was to get to 10% body fat. And I went from 13% to 10%. And it took me about like 4 months to get down to this 10%. Well, then I had my birthday, or I had someone else's birthday, and this person had a dessert and stuff. And so I had a little bit of dessert, and I had a raspberry as well, just so little, like sugar and stuff. Well, then I stepped on the scale the next day, and it was back to 13%. And so that's kind of the point that you get at into the more advanced stages, is that, like, what's the point of healing your body, to go through all of that pain, to go through the fasting, to go through all of this withdrawal from the sugar and stuff, and saying no to all of these things, when one yes to something can change all that progress in a matter of seconds, days. So yeah, guys, please just try and focus on what you're saying yes to, because you're saying yes to so many amazing things. And that way the temptation of the evil one can't come through you of just have a little sugar, It's, everybody does it. Treat yourself, all of these internal thoughts. But they're incorrect, because you are treating yourself. You're treating yourself way, way, way more than everybody out there and how you were in the past, because you're treating yourself to an amazing life, and you can say no to those temptations, and they don't even make sense logically anymore once you get to a certain point, because you're like, no, I'm saying yes to an amazing life, amazing energy. Why would I say yes to defeating that and to start the process over again, even to treat myself? I am doing the ultimate favor for myself by treating myself for maintaining my lifespan, to be around for my grandchildren, to be around till I'm old, to have all this energy that I can give back to the world. That is the ultimate treating yourself, guys. And that way you're not expending yourself on just momentary pleasure, which is all that sugar is. It's a hit to the brain of dopamine. Now you're in it for the long game. And a lot of successful people, that's what they prioritize, because they have faith that it will be done for them. And it just will improve your life so much, guys. So I wanted to relate this to this Bible verse that I heard in church today. And so the reading comes from John 21, I believe, about like 15 verses to 19. And so Jesus is talking to Peter, and he's saying, Simon Peter, do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? And he's asking him 3 times. And so Simon Peter responds, of course I love you. You know that I love you, Jesus. And so at the end, Jesus reveals, before, when you were younger, you fastened your belt and went wherever you wanted to go. But as you grow older, truly I tell you, someone else will fasten a belt to you, and you will go where other people don't want you to go. And so it's saying, of course, foreshadowing Jesus' death on the cross, as well as Peter's death on the cross later in his life as well. But I think it relates to carnivore so much, because really with carnivore, you're denying your sensations, you're denying your monkey brain to want sugar, and you're so that you have the greater pleasure of feeling so good. And that's what Jesus says, that if you want to follow me, any follower of me must take up their cross and deny themselves. But why is he saying that? Because if you just focus on the no's of, oh my God, I can't have sex. I can't do all of these things that I used to love. I can't drink. Well, then if you just focus on the no's, then it gets really depressing. But the reason why I said that is because if you deny yourself and take up your cross, then I will give you life. That's the ultimate yes. And so it's the same way in this. As when we were younger, before we were introduced to carnivore, we ate what we wanted. We ate the sugar, we ate the processed foods, we ate the carbs, and now we fastened our belt and went wherever we would go. But as Jesus says, now you're going to fasten your belt. Now other people are going to put a belt around you and lead you where you don't want to go. And so that's kind of what you get to when you keep doing carnivore, is that you're denying yourself. You don't want to go there. At times I don't want to fast. At times I have cravings still. I have urges. I wouldn't say I have cravings to go like down a box of donuts, but if something's in front of me, of course there's going to be that craving. And so in the same way, we're denying ourselves in order for us to achieve a greater yes. And that's all of what Christianity and his disciples are about. And so in the same way, when you do that, you're saying yes to life. You're saying yes to better relationships. You're saying yes to, and it's not that bad, man. Like, it gets fun. It gets really, once your taste buds get used to it, then that's all you crave. I just crave burgers all the time. I crave ground beef. I have fun with it. I mix it up, put some cheese on it sometimes, And so then you start to enjoy the things that, not the momentary pleasure in the taste buds and the sensations, but the pleasure in your soul, and the pleasure in that you're healing your inflammation, you're coming back to yourself. And there's no greater pleasure in that, guys. I can tell you, like, to see the light at the end of the tunnel and to be here is such a blessing. And it is difficult. And yeah, you will have to take up your cross and you will have to say no a bunch. But try and prioritize that on the other end of a no is a yes to life. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everybody has an amazing Sunday, and I can't wait to talk to you guys next. Peace.